Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. When you have in mind to bring more clinical value, you have to have dentists in your team. And so instead of having only PhDs and I would say software developers and engineers, we do have also numerous dentists. We have 8 dentists in the company, which means that we always have the dental perspective. We start by the dental perspective instead of starting by the, I would say, the engineer perspective. And to be very frank with you, it changed everything. The user interface has been absolutely driven by the dental practice, what they want in terms of display and in terms of everything. And it's the same for the software, and it's the same, of course, for this new application, which is AI driven.
Hello, everyone. Brian Kaleo here with my co-host Matt McGaugh, and this is the DSO Technology Show. We've got a wonderful guest today, all the way from Paris, France, Marie-Laure Pouchet. I call her MLP sometimes if it's a little simpler because I didn't take a lot of French in school, and it just kind of helps everything. But Marie-Laure, thank you for being here with us today.
I am here with pleasure. Thank you, Brian.
It's our pleasure to have you.
Absolutely.
Now, just tell us real quick, if you can, a little bit of your background before we get to 3Disc and everything that you're doing. I know you were in pharmaceutical industry and then you were CEO of Acteon, but tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are now.
Okay, my background is that at the start I'm an engineer, and I've been 30 years a little bit plus with the pharma industry, mostly with American companies like Merck and Pfizer. And my last position was in 2012 with Lundbeck. I was the head of commercial for the whole world, a 3 billion sales company. And then I turned to dental and to medtech in dental, with Acteon being serving as a CEO during 6 years.
So how did you come to create? You're the founder of 3Disc and very large shareholder. How did that all come about?
The whole story is that I thought it was very, very important. I think first the digital iOS or intraoral scanners are very, very much at the center of the dental practice now. And I think that being at the center, they should provide, of course, the capability to send files to the labs, but much more in terms of clinical value. And with that perspective in mind, I thought when I was CEO of Acteon that it was a good idea that we looked for a company, and I found 3Disc, which was just an R&D company at the time, very small, based in the US. And the board of Acteon has said no to this acquisition, and I said, okay, I will do it for myself. So I did it with a private equity fund from Paris, which name is Galliena. And we are there. To be very frank, at the time it was mostly R&D. The hardware was good, the software was not finished. And so we have worked a lot on the past 5 years to get where we are today.
Okay, well, let's start at the very beginning. 3D is a specialty scanner, but just in case people are not familiar with it, what does it do?
As an intraoral scanner, it allows the dentist to take within, I would say, 3 minutes, a full scan, a full 3D file of the mouth and the dentition of the patients, to be able to send that to the labs so that the labs may execute either crowns, either full dentures, either what they have to do, either aligners. And so it's I would say it allows to do digital printings of the mouth of the patients.
And last question, then I know Matt's got some technical things he wants to ask you about, but last question, what was your objective with this scanner? You've told me before that this does some things that, nobody else is doing and it's unique. What is the objective with this?
The objective is to use the digital power of the intraoral scanners to do much more than sending a file to the lab, meaning to be used as a clinical tool by the dentist. And today, as a first step, not totally the first step, I would say the second step, we are now launching a product with which the dentist can definitely show to the patient, AI-driven, so absolutely instantly, the full visual treatment plan of the patient, meaning that showing to the patient in 3D, 2D, and with the dashboard, where are the caries, where is the plaque, what is the rate of the plaque, broken teeth, and also deficient amalgams. So it allows the patient to see, and the result is very clear. When the patient sees his mouth in 3D and 2D, and he realizes that he has not only one carie in this area, but another one probably there, etc. Then instead of arguing and saying, oh, to the dentist, no, are you sure I should do it? Of course, he said, okay, let's do it. And so it means that the dentist is not in a, I would say, in a sales model, is binding with the patient, I would say, a therapeutic contract, which is, okay, we agree that you have these 2 or these 3 things to do in your mouth, so let's do it now.
Question around, first of all, let's maybe take a step back, and then I have some questions on like the actual software and the hardware itself, but correct me if I'm wrong. So you're an engineer. I didn't know that. You're an engineer. So that's amazing. All these companies that are founded by engineers have like a different perspective on things too, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think you married that with, like, you have dentists and PhDs like on your leadership team. So maybe
Yeah, we do.
how does the your engineering brain and your history as a business leader, how does that interact with the dentists and the PhDs of the world? And how do those two perspectives maybe shape how things are launched within your business, et cetera?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. When you have in mind to bring more clinical value, you have to have dentists in your team. And so instead of having only PhDs and I would say software developers and engineers, we do have also numerous dentists. We have 8 dentists in the company, which means that we always have the dental perspective. We start by the dental perspective instead of starting by I would say, the engineer perspective. And to be very frank with you, it changed everything. The user interface has been absolutely driven by the dental practice, what they want in terms of display and in terms of everything. And it's the same for the software, and it's the same, of course, for this new application, which is AI-driven. And so what it brings to the company is that we have 2 voices, and the voice of the dentist is absolutely louder than the voice of the engineers, because the dentists I would say, are driving the show.
Yeah, so basically you're saying the folks and the dentists that have helped design the software are the ones that were going to be using the software, so it makes it a bit more easier to use and works in their overall workflow. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, and we have also always the idea in mind that we test every day with numerous dentists, internal and external. We work with 32 reference dentists in the world, and they test all along all the ideas we have. Some are crazy, some ideas are just crazy, some others are probably very good. And at the end, it means that we always have the dental perspective. And at the end, our focus is what is the clinical value, the relevant clinical value we can bring. And to be frank, having this visual treatment plan now available is a major step, because for the first time, really for the first time, we have a patent on that, of course. And for the first time, the patient will really see what he has in his mouth.
And is that something you guys are focusing on? Is because my experience, right, is you buy a scanner as a doctor or a DSO, and it takes the images, and that's kind of it. Are you seeing some patterns around how dentists are wanting to adopt the technology and have more than just the ability to take an image?
We know for one reason, which is that we have launched 2 years ago the first version of this software, but without AI. And we thought it was just kind of a test, because we thought that without AI, the dentists would not be very happy to make the exercise themselves. And we have been extremely surprised by the fact that they were eager to use it and to put themselves where the caries and where is the plaque, etc. And of course, we knew that once we have realized that this was really, they were really excited to use this application, we thought, okay, we have to do it with AI. And so we have a five people AI team inside the company, and we have put as a focus to our AI team to develop that, which took us 2 years. We have gathered 85,000 images, 85,000 mouse with scanners, image or scanner file, and also X-ray files to do this AI-driven so that it's absolutely reliable. And we think absolutely today that it's very much reliable.
You're in, if I remember correctly, you're in 70 countries right now?
Yeah, we sell in 73, I think, countries.
But your product is made in America, is that correct?
It is absolutely correct. We manufacture it in Virginia, very close to Washington, D.C., in Herndon. This was the original place of the location of the company, and we have kept this location where we have engineers. We have engineers mostly in hardware. We have QC, so everything is registered from Virginia, and so we are absolutely made in the US. And we are very proud of that.
No, I think that's wonderful, and I think that'll be very important to some people that are watching this to know you're all the way in Paris, but the product is made here in America, and if anybody wants to sort of see the headquarters, it's right down there in Virginia.
We welcome all the visitors. It's very easy. We are five miles out of Dallas Airport, so it's extremely easy.
Tell us some early feedback or case studies. I know you've sold, I think, over 10,000 of these. You're all over the world with them. What has the feedback been?
The feedback is first, the user interface is particularly easy to use, simple, and I would say more sleek than with our competitors. So this is the first, it's very easy to use. It's very much plug and play and very easy to use. And the second feature which goes each time is extremely fast. Today, when we look at all the users of OVO3 in the world, so real users, I don't mean the expert of the company, the average duration of a scan is 3 minutes. So 190 seconds, which is 3 minutes and 10 seconds, which is extremely fast. So it means that the feedback we hear is mostly, it's very easy to use and very fast.
What about accuracy in relation to other scanners in the marketplace?
I think, to be frank, most of the scanners today, the good scanners, I mean, are accurate. And I think we have to say the truth. It's the scanners, we are in 2026, and the scanners that are marketed now are very accurate, and we are part of it. We have absolutely no case of inaccuracy with OVO3. There is absolutely none. So one day we will have one, but not yet. So we are very happy to say that the accuracy is perfect. We have worked a lot on the edentulous patients. In fact, we have spent most of our 2023 year at making sure that everything. Edentulous patients are always a difficulty for the scanners, of course, because there is no teeth, obviously. We have the first very important AI software we have developed the name is Fly AI, has been developed mostly to be sure that we can scan all the edentulous patients with very, very good accuracy and very ease of use. So this Fly AI has, I would say, revolutionized this practice. And to be clear with you, many users are mostly in emerging countries are using our scanner, preferably because for edentulous patients it's particularly good.
I know those cases for edentulous patients, those are going to be like implant cases and very difficult because you can't necessarily pick up things, right? Like from a technical aspect, when you're scanning, that's a difficulty, and you guys are able to do that.
No, we use, of course, soft tissues to take reference. And this Fly AI is making the difference between, I would say, useful soft tissues like the gingiva, for instance, and useless soft tissues. Of course, the tongue, the cheeks, eventually the finger of the dentist. So the scanner erases automatically, even if you put your finger in front of you will not see it when you scan. It will erase automatically the image of the finger. So it's the beauty of the very first AI software we have developed. And it means that for the scanner, it's particularly good for this type of patients.
Since most of the scanners are relatively accurate, very on a similar landscape, right? Some of the newer features like caries detection, supporting case conversions and treatment acceptance, like is that where you see the future of your company and just scanners as a whole leading towards?
Yeah, we see the future of 3D skin bringing, I would say, clinical benefits for the dentist. We think it's a major differentiation versus all of our competitors. This first, I would say, software bringing the dashboard and the visualization will be marketed as of April, so really tomorrow morning. And we have plenty of other ideas that, of course, I will not display now, but it's very important with the scanners, it's only the start. We can definitely look subgingival, we can look to many things and bring value to the dentist.
The way that I'm visualizing this, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I feel like this, Brian, is like the diagnostic AI solutions that are on the market, but taking that in like an intraoral scan and being able to detect certain things clinically and lead the doctors down the right path. Am I tracking?
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Marie-Laure, tell us a little bit about, there's a couple features that excited me that I want you to explain. One of them was called Scan and Tell that I think you started in 2024. And then if I'm saying it right, it looks like OVO3 Plus. I want you to explain some of these features to us. Start with Scan and Tell, and then we can go through some of the other features.
Very good. Thank you, Brian. Scan and Tell was created and launched in April 24.
Right.
And Scan and Tell is the first software of this industry, allowing the dentist to show to the patient their mouth, both in 3D and 2D, and also adding everything which, of course, at the time it was the dentist had to add it himself. Everything which has to be treated, so the caries, the plaque, etc., etc. And it was designed to show to the patient what they have in their mouth, and the result, we have done a lot of clinical studies, and the result of all the clinical studies are very, very converging, and they say instead of approving or accepting 1.2 treatments, the patient accepts with Scan and Tell 2.4 treatments, which is, of course, a major change. It's better for the patient because, of course, the caries will be treated earlier. Let's say very, very simply, it's very good for the dentist because the dentist never likes when he realizes that he cannot really treat properly his patient. It's better also for the profit, let's be very honest. And it's better for, I would say, the global health of the people, because we are moving then from curative dentistry to more preventive dentistry. And if you ask me, I think this is very much the future. In 5 years or in 10 years, I hope it will be 5 years, we will be treating the things more and more early, or earlier and earlier, meaning that we will have less edentulous patients, we will have less implants, we will have less, I would say, disease or case at a later stage, which definitely is a good point.
I mean, you never mind profits to me if it's ethically necessary. I mean, if it's medically necessary. I mean, you don't ever want to get into a situation where you're overdiagnosing or something, but if it enables the dentist to see more things and show that to the patient so the patient then understands the necessity of treatment, then to me, there's nothing wrong with making profits off that. You're elevating the standard of care for the patient, is what I think.
Yeah, and I think that what the studies are showing is that the level of trust of the patients vis-à-vis their dentist is roughly, and it's a study made from the US, is roughly 61%. So 61% of the patients seeing and visiting a dentist are really trusting their dentist. If you ask the same question to the patients who visit their cardiologist, it's 87%. It means that the level of trust, simple trust, of the vis-à-vis their dentist is much lower than vis-à-vis their cardiologist. And when you ask why, it's because they say, I don't know if he tells me the truth. He said, okay, I have to treat you this and this and this. Is that real? Should I do it really today? While with the cardiologist, there is not, because they can share the data. With when you show to the patient what the AI say in terms of visualization of the problems, then everybody, the dentist has not to sell. It just say, okay, here is the state of your mouth. What do you decide? And I was with the dentist last week, and it was quite interesting because the dentist in the US, next to Las Vegas, to be frank, and the dentist told me, you know, if my patient doesn't want to be treated, I will ask him to sign. It's real case. I will ask him to sign and to say, okay, I have told you that you should be treated for A and B, and it's written on the document. If you don't want to be treated, I want you to sign and to acknowledge that I recommended you to be treated. And I thought it's an interesting point because it shows very much that now the dentist and the patient are on the same side of the table and no longer, I would say, discussing.
Well, I mean, this adds an element of objectivity to something that historically has been subjective. And I've talked about this many, many times on stage, and Matt knows this. It's like shadows and ghosts. Like you look at this little X-ray and it's a ghost, and they say, look at this, and nobody knows what that is. And because of this ghost, you got to get treated, and nobody understands. But the modern day AI-driven scanners, and we've seen this with diagnostic AI, it pinpoints right where the problem is, and the dentist can collaborate with the patient and say, look, we didn't know what this was going to say. We did the scanner, and look, it's right here. You can see it for yourself. And I have to believe that increases confidence in the dentist, and it certainly is probably one of the main reasons, Marie-Laure, why the case acceptance doubled. It went from 1.2 to 2.4.
Absolutely. This is very obvious. And this result was we did clinical studies both in the US but also in many, many places in the world, and it was absolutely everywhere the same result. So it shows that it's very robust.
Well, tell us, Marie-Laure, I think we talked a little bit about Scan and Tell. There's something else. Is it OVO3 Plus or something like that?
Yeah.
Or make sure I said it right and tell us about it. I thought I said it right, but tell us about it.
Yeah, OVO Plus. OVO3 is our regular scanner for the US and for Europe. Very much premium. This is the product that we sell today. We have launched it last year. It's a big success, to be frank. We are very happy with it. But OVO3 Plus is the version with the diagnostic. So it's the version that we will launch in 1 month, with which the dentist can show the diagnostic and the visual treatment plan and everything. So we will have, going forward, 2 products. One will be definitely the OVO3, regular, without diagnostic, and OVO3 Plus with the diagnostic.
And what does that look like from the perspective of the patient in the chair with OVO3 Plus? What are they going to see, like, in front of them?
They're going to see, first, there are 2 arches in terms of 3D. With the marks on the teeth which have to be treated, and with the specification of what has been diagnosed, And also they will be able to see the same teeth or the same tooth with in 2D. So meaning it allows the patient to see both, I would say, the 3D image, which is more location-wise, where is that in my mouse, and then the 2D image, which is, it looks like what? You probably remember in the US, there was a lot of dentists using 2D camera because they thought it was a very good idea to show to the patient what is there in their mouth. It was very useful. I say it was because it's a little bit outdated now. But the reality is that with a 2D camera, you can see as a patient what is there, but you cannot locate it in your mouth. So it's always difficult. While here, having 2D and 3D together, you can locate what is the problem, and you can see the real teeth. So you can see if the teeth is a little bit black, which is not a good sign, of course, or if you have a lot of plaque, or you can see, and on the third part of the screen, you have the details of number of caries, their location, what is the percentage of plaque you have in your mouth, etc., etc. So it's a sort of a dashboard, very easy to read, of course, for all types of patients. Of course, the patient can have a copy. They can have it as a PDF, so it's very easy to send that by mail. We can also send the 3D image on their phone so that they can play with their mouse, I would say. So it's three things: 3D, 2D, and the dashboard.
Very, very interesting. I mean, really, really, and that's coming out in May. Is that right?
Yeah, we are now in the final testing. I am very confident that it's very good because all the feedbacks are very positive. We have the very, very first meetings with potential partners in 2 weeks, and we plan to have a D-Day on May 5th.
Exciting.
How, Marie-Laure, how do people, as we kind of are almost going to wrap up, how do people get more information on 3Disc? If they're interested in learning more about it or maybe purchasing it, how can you do that right now?
Right now, in 1 month, it will be easier. But right now, it's the easiest point is to go on the website, our website, 3disc.com, of course, and to send their mail address, and we will immediately call them or mail them, and we are very efficient at doing that. So we have a full team in the US and also outside the US, customer experience. We have 3 people from Virginia, so really we are equipped to launch our new products. And so we will call you within 24 hours.
Okay, well, Marie-Laure, this is the part everybody gets nervous about at the show. So, Matt, now it's up to you. What do we got? We got a thumbs up or a thumbs down on 3Disc?
Well, absolutely a thumbs up. I think what I'm seeing, Marie-Laure, is you're taking what's normally considered just like a tool, right? You just do the scan, there's an STL file, and then you send it off to somewhere to get an appliance made or whatnot. But it seems to me like you're taking that tool and making it like a clinical diagnostic tool that's going to support case conversions, which is super interesting and something that I don't think I see much of at all in your segment of the market. So super exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it. So great stuff.
Well, yeah, Marie-Laure, yes, thank you so much for being here and sharing this. And I know you're going to continue to refine this, and it's going to be super, super easy in the next several months to get this product, and we're all going to be hearing about it. But we're excited to showcase it first on the DSO Technology Show. I know, like, in the months to come, everybody's going to hear about it, but we had it here first, and we were really excited to do that. I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kindness, and thank you for your attention and your excitement. I can tell you, for us, it's very important. We are still a very young company, small company, and we plan to be bigger.
Absolutely. Thank you again for being here. And everybody really pay attention, because you're going to hear a lot from 3Disc in the months that come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.